everybody, and welcome back to Saving Sarah! This is a mutual aid marathon helping a friend of the community and volunteer extraordinaire, Doodleplex, to end her housing insecurity and to get her to a better financial place in life. As we have said previously, I am Blackheart Wings, and it is my pleasure to be your host for the following two runs. Well, hopefully the following two, at the very least this next one. As a reminder, if you are just joining us, we have a few incentives going on, not only to support our friend, but to extend our marathon and to add to a little bit of the fun. So, if you are just joining us, hi! We have a Mario Kart World character bid war going on at the moment. Whoop. We have a Mario Kart character bid war going on at the moment. I lost my script. It is all good. So, we have a choice of several characters, but right now it looks like Cow is in the lead, which is I want to say the audience favorite. Everybody loves the Cow. Toadette is at a very close second with Bowser and Swoop lagging behind, but honestly, it is anybody's game here. Toadette is a personal favorite of mine. I do love the Cow though. However, keeping all of this in mind, the top level runners will use Bowser every time that they do these runs. So this is also something to consider, chat. This is important. And any donations, whether you contribute to this bid war or not, will lead towards our milestone. That is the bonus game that I will also be hosting for you if we do achieve that. So if we raise $3,225, which is less than $50 away, you will all get to see The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild all main quests. It is a fantastic run. The runner is absolutely amazing. I cannot encourage you all enough to donate towards this incentive. It is absolutely amazing. But before we get to that, we do have one more run for you. So hopefully within these next 25 minutes, we will be able to raise that money. But we have a fantastic showcase coming up for you all. Xenadir has really hyped up this run for me behind the scenes. I'm so excited. We are returning to the land of Monster Hunter Wilds. Xenadir will be running the Omega Planetaze hunt for us. I am incredibly excited. You all should also be very excited. But without further ado, I will hand it over to Xenadir. Welcome back, Hunter. How are you doing today?
I am good. It's been a very busy day, and somehow I am back here again with more Monster Hunter Wilds. Behind the scenes, I've been asking for this for several days now, like, hey, I'd love to show off new content. I want to get destroyed on stream more than I did earlier with 3 other people to back me up. Let's make it happen. So sorry. We're currently watching the Diva for the, 18th time. Somehow we managed to do it twice during our run the other day. But I already got the buff out of it, so we're not going to do it again now. This is going to be the Omega Planetaze, as they pronounce it in game. That seems to be wrong according to every person I've asked that knows, though, but no one has given me a consensus on what it is. It's going to be interesting. It's not going to be true solo. I am currently packing up my house to move, so I didn't have time to fully practice and get very confident in a full solo, but we're going to be doing it with the AI hunters. My squad is going to consist of Alessa, the Lance, as our tank. She is incredible, genuinely the best of the NPC hunters. We're going to have the new AI hunter, Kai, on Hunting Horn for a dedicated support. He's very good about giving attack buffs, which is the biggest thing, and his echo bubbles are very good about popping some of the projectiles, also including the ones that I'm trying to counter, which actively screws me, but we'll see how it goes. And then last but not least, I was originally running the heavy bowgun Rosso, and then I swapped over to Mina during my Savage Omega attempts. Mina is very good about being kind of like a secondary to everyone. She's a secondary support because she likes to use powder items to heal you or buff you. She's a secondary tank if she really tries, because technically she's using a shielded weapon, which really helps. And she's also technically a secondary DPS because Sword and Shield is mainly a DPS weapon in its own right. So she's great as an all-rounder compared to Rosso, who is technically speaking, supposed to just be a DPS, but is also just kind of there half the time. So you can swap between them pretty freely depending on what your weapon is. It's really what your preference is at that point. But otherwise, we had our meal. I'm restocking a bunch of items that realistically, I don't even use most of these in normal anymore. I'm comfortable enough with the fight, thankfully, that you don't have to, which is awesome. If you're curious, I am a switch axe main. I showed it the other day in our Apex showcase, and I'm going to be sticking with that. I've also done it with both bowguns, heavy and light. I'm starting to practice with greatsword, which is not a weapon I use much, but it just seems interesting. And because it's a Final Fantasy crossover, one of the rewards you can get craftable with the materials you get from winning the fight is a very special armor set and greatsword particular to Final Fantasy. So I feel like it's right for me to learn that, you know. But yeah, we're going to be sticking with my lovely switch axe because it's my bread and butter. It's what I'm comfortable with. The main one is going to be thunder damage because that's what Omega is super weak to. There is also a DPS phase that will have a quote-unquote clone Nursilla. It is very weak to fire and very resistant to thunder. So for that phase, I'll swap over to fire, finish it, hopefully, and then I'll swap right back. If you're curious, my build is very comfort-based. It is not damage-based. I have a couple challenger jewels for agitator just to give me damage, but otherwise, I've effectively maxed out evade window, evade extender, divine blessing, stun resistance. I have 18 fire resistance, quick sheath at 2, speed eating at 2. Everything I have is just to make my life very comfortable. I'm at the point where that is just preference to like the meta DPS sets, which is just everything you could get to squeeze out one more damage. The only thing we realistically need otherwise is to swap into the right outfit. And as much as I love this one, I think the cat girl needs to come back specifically for this. And while I'm at it specifically, I think I've looked into the camera enough. There's a much more important thing you should see. It should be my cat, the real cat girl. I'm going to put her on for the rest of this. She's sleepy. She's on the desk. I think we're ready to have a good time. Over to Lotta here, and specifically we're looking for the optional quest, Planetes Protocol. Don't care if it's right, don't care if it's wrong. Tell me in a donation, it would be great. He said we were 50 away from that next game, the bonus game. Is that correct?
Just under 50, actually.
Okay.
It rounds out to about 47.
Okay. I would love to see us get that in the time we have. The estimate is 25. I've been getting as low as like 17 minutes, which would be super great. I would love to see us get it, if not get really close in the meantime, while I try to show this off, talk about what's happening, all like what's so unique about the new content and how cool the crossover is. But without further ado, if we are ready, we can get the countdown here and go into Lucky Voucher because I'm feeling confident. We're going to start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let the loading screen begin. All right. Try not to be too nervous about this one. I've only played it. I think I have 32 completions now under my belt. You'd think I'd be a bit more confident.
That's
but
so many.
Yeah, I've been using this to distract myself from packing a lot. All right, first things first, we are in Jindahad's special arena instance. So we're going to have 4 arenas within this that we're going to be fighting between. It is effectively 1 phase per 1 area, but there's like mini phases, like 0.5s on the 3rd and 4th arenas specifically. All right, one of the most important things when it comes to this fight is someone needs to have enmity. And if I'm doing my job right, I shouldn't have to have it. Slashing damage is best against the back legs, which is what I do. But there are times where Alessa, our amazing Lance, who is frankly just the greatest of all the possible support hunters, cannot get enmity because Omega, if it is not aggroed to somebody, which is effectively what the enmity means, taking the term from Final Fantasy. If he does not have enmity on someone, he moves a lot, and he is very difficult to catch. And interestingly, I should actually say proper words, he seems to have a default where if he doesn't have enmity on anyone, but you are playing with AI as a sole player, I'm gonna get blasted by this, aren't I? Yeah. He tends to focus the player the most. He'll still kind of swing around and occasionally hit other people. You're gonna get me with that twice? No, we missed the second one, thank goodness. 3 times in a row, this is really weird. Okay, yeah, so if he doesn't have enmity, he seems to instinctively focus the player the most. So in that instance, if Alessa's not able to catch it, my best thing I can do for her is to try and sit still, get enmity myself, or at least keep Omega as close to in place as possible. So either I can get it or she can come over and get it. I don't know what it is. I think because she's an AI and the game is like, hey, we really need to help the people who are trying to do this because it's built to be done as 4. That is like the whole way this is built to be done. You can solo it, truly very difficult, not intended. Alessa seems to have boosted ability to gather enmity. She'll poke it. She'll poke Omega in the face like twice and get it. Meanwhile, I'll unload my full combo like 3 times and still won't get enemy. I don't know if that's a weapon thing. I don't know if that's somehow just because it's AI and it's boosted. I think it's both realistically, but it's hard to tell because I'm not sitting here going into the files and figuring things out. There are much smarter and more talented people to do that. Anyways, the first phase is always pretty quick. We're already technically in phase 2. This is the second arena. Like I said, nobody has enmity. He's just gonna run around a bunch until somebody gets it. He will occasionally lock himself down to kind of do an attack or 2, like spawning lasers on my face. But the best way to get enmity out of this is to hit him directly in the face. That seems to be the only realistic way to generate it. So I have to get myself as close as possible and hit him several times and hope eventually he locks himself down. He's in rage, which is an attack boost for me and also gives me plenty of time to continue hitting him. Give me enmity, please. We're getting close. Is that Pantocrator? Cool. We are officially seeing our first instance of Pantocrator mode, whatever that means. I don't know. This is effectively his enraged state that's usually marked. There we go. I've got enmity. It's marked by the red light underneath him, so I just call it red mode sometimes because it's much faster. He just kind of goes, there we go. Alessa walked up, poked him twice and got it. So I did my job. Red mode is effectively him just going a little haywire. During this time, what you want to do is focus any particular leg and break it. You need to, I think it's break 3 or 4 leg wounds and it breaks him out of Pantocrator mode. If he lasts in it for too long, he will eventually go like haywire, where he starts moving unpredictably and slamming the ground. And after he does it 3 times with like a burst of fire afterwards, he just gets free wounds on his legs to try and let you lock him down, get damage. Counter this, very nice. Didn't think he'd do 2 because this is normal. This is weird. Still not bad though. We've gotten 1 or 2 wounds. Kai broke a wound and so did I, but he might have broken the same one as us. It's hard to tell. Currently, Alessa is holding it down like a champion. She not only took the beam to the face, she also charged through it because she's amazing. Yeah. This is pretty much what we're going to be doing. I'm going to continue focusing one leg in particular until we literally break it. You will eventually break the leg fully, not just a wound. I'm going to get hit by the lasers. I'm at half health. I'm going to have to heal after this. Nobody has enmity, important to note. Oh, Kai's riding it. Wow. I'm going to take this moment to sharpen. Once you fully break a leg, he will drop a shield generator, which is super useful for mainly phase 4. In phase 4, everything gets a little crazier, especially once you put him into Skull, where he's very close to death. There will be like a captioned message that blatantly says elimination imminent, like must stop the hunter or something like that. And he especially forces himself, or essentially I should say, forces himself into red mode for the duration until you knock him out of it, and he'll fly around, launch so many projectiles to stall things out. It gets a little ridiculous. Alessa unfortunately has perished. The beauty of playing with AI hunters is that the only person's death that matters is yours, so I effectively get 3 carts, and if they die, I lose nothing. So Alessa's being down means nobody has enmity, which means I need to focus the face and hope that I can get it sooner than later. He's doing 2. Thankfully, I'm still alive. We just saw our first notable instance of what I call race car mode. If you get hit by it, I call it getting kachowed because it's the worst. There we go. Pantocrator lasted too long, so he's going a little haywire. That's the first time. He flails around. He launches fire. After the third one, wounds on all 4 legs appear, but you only get to break one of them just for free damage. There we go. It lasts long enough, this wound, that as long as the AI doesn't steal it from me, I can get a few hits before breaking the wound. There we go. So I don't believe breaking those ones technically counts towards the wound count for breaking him out of Pantocrator. I believe it is strictly there just to give you a damage window. We're getting targeted by Mustard Bomb again. This beautiful attack takes a few moments and then launches an AoE fire that just remains there for quite a long time, and even longer in Savage. He's doing his big laser again. Unfortunately, he's parking himself in the fire, which makes this very difficult. That fire does very quick and very damaging fire DOT, which is very unfortunate. I did just get enemy back, though, which is great. I need to take a breath and focus for a few moments here. Is there anything of great importance that you can share with us, my lovely host?
Well, I'm just watching in complete awe. I also texted a friend of mine who also plays Monster Hunter Wilds, and I was like, oh yeah, one of my friends is doing this boss. And they were like, oh, let me know if they win. And I went, okay, this person who's playing has beaten this 30 plus times. Yeah. And they said something that wasn't exactly family friendly that I can't say on stream, but they were very impressed. And so chat, if you are equally impressed, you should let us know in your donations. And so I think if we can get like a $14 not a raid train, that's different.
I mean, we could.
That's different.
That'll be later tonight.
But that will definitely be later tonight. But a $14 donation train would be swell because of the Final Fantasy XIV crossover.
Hey,
I do also want to
like that.
I do also want to remind everybody why we're here. We are here to support Sarah, and in honor of our lovely little cat who is on the screen right now, I do want to remind everybody, Sarah also has 2 cats, Rosie and Ruby. They're absolutely sweet. If you are in chat right now, you should send in Rosie and Ruby emotes in chat. These are 2 absolute sweethearts, and they are also facing the same housing insecurity as Doodle, and so in supporting Doodle, you are also supporting Rosie and Ruby to have a safe place to live, and we save the animals here, I believe. Yes. That is our mantra. Never mind the fact that we're doing Monster Hunter, where the whole idea is we kill monsters.
We do it for conservation purposes. Important note of the lore there. We have to protect the ecosystem.
There you go. Protect the ecosystem and protect Rosie and Ruby's ecosystem and their living space and support Sarah. But yeah, exclamation point donate in chat. Let us know how you're feeling about this boss fight. Let us know if you play Final Fantasy XIV, and if you've seen this boss before, let us know if you play Monster Hunter and you're absolutely impressed with this boss. $14 donation train will get us to our milestone incentive super duper quickly. Again, we need $47 more to meet our bonus game incentive of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Now, I'm extremely excited for this run. I would love to continue posting for you all. I would love to make sure that we meet this incentive. Chat, it is all up to you.
The idea of $14 for Final Fantasy XIV is genius, by the way. Like, I genuinely really appreciate that idea. I would never have even considered it. I will say, like, this crossover...
that was Satan's idea.
Let's go, Satan. Big fan. Amazing people on the host team, as always. No one is surprised. Hey, we broke our first leg. Amazing. And I'm trapped, unfortunately, and unable to go hit the antenna where there's very good damage. I'll just hit another leg. Yeah, this crossover has made me a lot more interested to look at Final Fantasy XIV again. I played it for like a good 50 hours at some point, like 2-3 years ago, and was like, I don't really understand what's going on here. It's a bit of a slog when you're playing alone, but you know, it's also an MMO, so that was my first problem, was not finding anybody to play with. That's on me. Important to note, we are in the 3rd phase. We just reached effectively what I'm going to consider phase 3.5. We have hit the Delta threshold. So during this, we're gonna have an interesting moment here. I'm going to pull down this crumbling wall real quick. During this, Omega specifically is just going to sit there and charge his Delta attack, and we cannot do any damage to him. During this, we have to instead fight what is called a clone Nursilla. There's the normal. This clone Nursilla is an absolute pain and is the worst part of this fight at this point for me. Overall, this DPS check is very tightly tuned, and I would say like much more so in Savage, realistically. In normal mode, it's not as bad, but you can still have some very close calls. You are intended to use your environment a lot. It's already dead. Oh my god, I've never had it that fast with the AI before, but it is normal. So I'm going to take this moment to swap back to my Thunder and then hide in the shield like I need to. During that phase, though, you're expected to kind of use your environment. It spawns a bunch of cactuars, the little cactus friends, and these little Morble seedlings. The Morbles, when they come out, will spew this poisoned stench and paralysis breath, and the idea that the devs are aiming for, please pull the ice chunk, and it's already out of it, it doesn't matter, is that you run up and try to get the Morbles to come over to attack you, and in the process paralyze the Nursilla clone. The problem is the Nursilla clone is very hyper mobile. So if you're not forcing that paralysis yourself before or finding some other way to lock it down, it tends to just dodge it very frequently. It also, you can kill the Morble seedlings in like one hit. So a lot of the time you'll just kind of catch one on accident and kill it before it can paralyze the Nursilla. It's very brutal. Starboard, I need to go to the left side. I have personally discovered, at least for my comfort, pulling Nursilla over to this wall and dropping it for like 2,000 damage is my best way to kind of initiate that phase. That gives us time to knock everything down, do very good damage right off the bat, and then you can slinger one of the Morble seedlings over and hopefully immediately chain into the paralysis. In Savage, it's very good to start it that way, but also kind of becomes difficult because they're really hoping to utilize the Cactuars for bonus damage. And without them, it's so tightly tuned. I always, in Savage, swap to my light bowgun and just spam fire shots because that's about the highest damage I can do. More so than my Switch Axe, sadly. Switch Axe is a very high risk, mid at best reward weapon, which is incredibly frustrating. Hey, we're already moving to phase 4. This is going very quickly. We've gotten under 15 minutes total in this fight so far, so we're definitely looking closer to 20 on estimate. I'd love to hopefully get some donations in to push us closer to that bonus game in the meantime. Let me tell you, attempting to learn this fight so thoroughly in the time that I've had has not been easy, but I also really wanted to show off new content specifically like this on a lovely Saving Sarah marathon because I figured it was so fresh that hopefully you could get some more eyes. And especially behind the scenes, there's a lot of Final Fantasy 14 players that were talking to our Monster Hunter group the other night before we were jumping in, and just the cross-game discussion that has occurred has been so fascinating to me, seeing everyone kind of come together. And the Final Fantasy 14 players are like, we've been fighting this guy for years, here's all of the memes that have existed for 10 years, and here's all the things that are like, yeah, that definitely came from the game, that was a direct crossover, or yes, getting bullied by this monster makes a lot of sense, I feel at home in this game too. And then us learning everything from scratch, seeing how they transferred everything over, what they didn't, what they were creative on. Also learning that Final Fantasy 14 is getting an equivalent crossover, and they're getting the cart as a mount, which if you've never played Monster Hunter, the cart, if you've been carted, is effectively you died. So you get carted out by a couple cute little felines called palicos, and they revive you. So if you've carted, you've gotten wrecked. And the fact that they're getting a mount in Final Fantasy 14 that is a cart is ungodly hilarious, actually. The devs were very creative with that one. I had to look over. Aisling
That's so
sat
funny.
up but is still in the camera. The most important part is still going. We've got another wound on the back foot here. Mina got it first, but I'm still getting damage out of it. That's good. So yeah, final phase. We do have red mode going right now. Alessa's got 2 HP debuffs. I need to start taking aggro from her, because if she holds aggro, she will not get her HP back, and she's kind of suffering right now. The mechanic requires you to not be aggroed for like 30 seconds. Amazing power clash. Alessa's so goated. If she stops being aggroed for 30 seconds, whether anyone else has it or nobody has it, she will eventually get her HP back. So as a good assist to her, my ideal is to hopefully take enmity from her instead of getting fisted right there like I just did. Don't worry about the way I phrased that. This game is brain rotted.
We're not gonna worry about it.
Just don't think about it too much.
It's all right. Everything is fine. But chat, you heard Xenadir. This is the final phase. This is your last chance. We are still $47 short of meeting that incentive. I would love to see Breath of the Wild for you all. I would love to host Breath of the Wild for you all. We have the runners set up. And so it would, it would be great. It would be great if we could continue this marathon, continue raising money for our friend, and continue having a great time with runners, hosts. Doodle found it funny. No worries.
Perfect. That's all I needed.
That's the important part. But yes, we want to keep this, and we want to keep all of the good vibes going. Again, remember, we are still fighting over the Mario Kart character bid war. So if you really want to solidify the cow's lead, you should donate towards the cow. If you want to make sure that Toadette comes home and we get to see a Toadette showcase, make sure that she gets in the lead. Also, if you want to see the high-powered, high-level gameplay that comes with the top-level runners, put your money towards Bowser. There are plenty of ways that you can help support our friend. There are plenty of ways that you can keep this marathon going. I highly encourage you all to do so.
Down. I want to say, I think I shouted out the other night, but my favorite thing to mention to everybody is even if you don't necessarily have anything to donate at the moment, just sharing the stream around is so helpful. The people who could be interested in the content coming up, just because they love the game. Like, I am a huge Breath of the Wild fan. I always enjoy watching Breath of the Wild runs specifically. I'm a Breath of the Wild over Tears of the Kingdom person, just so everyone can shout their opinions there. It makes a huge difference. So if you shout it out on Blue Sky, just share it with friends via text. Everything matters. Getting more views is everything on Twitch. So even if you can't donate, sharing makes such a big difference. Chatting, huge. Whatever you can do to hopefully help out, just being here is a big part of it, though, and we appreciate that. I'm going to take this deadly moment to just sharpen. Don't mind me.
And I have some fantastic news.
What's up?
We got $50 from Sin Spitter that says more marathon means more time together to make the most out of saving Sarah.
Let's go.
So here's to unlock Breath of the Wild. Much love to everyone involved to make this happen. Hearts. Sin Spitter, thank you so much. We have officially met the Breath of the Wild incentive, and also those $50 went to...
Sorry.
That's time!
Woo! It's faster than expected. Sorry, you were saying. I'm gonna carve. Don't mind me.
I'm feeling good.
You know, I don't know what that means, and at this point, I'm a little afraid to ask.
We got the gem. Let's go. I got the final bit I needed.
Let's go!
Thank you. Finally. For a good cause.
Those $50, you know, this was meant, it was meant to happen. This is how you got your item. But the $50 went to Swoop, which was the secret fourth option in the character bid war. So we have a new, maybe not a front runner, but it has eclipsed Toadette now. So this is a spicy bid war, friends. This has become a spicy bid war.
Look, I'm gonna say I'm a big fan of Cow, but also seeing anything that's abnormal, such as Swoop, would be such a victory. We've had Toadette, we've had Bowser in the past. Give me some Cow, give me some Swoop. They're different, they're new to Mario Kart World. They'd be fantastic. Whatever you want. Maybe you do prefer Toadette or Bowser, and you should let us know in a donation. Anything works, realistically, but also shout out to Sinspitter for getting us to that bonus game. That's incredible. Love to hear that. 17 minutes 51, by the way. I think that's actually my PB on regular, which is really awesome.
Let's go PB. Oh my god, congratulations. Wow, that was
Feeling
honestly such an incredible showcase. You killed it, both literally and figuratively, I think.
Hey, today's login bonus is now available, just so everyone's aware. Make sure you get that. Yeah, thank you all so much for having me a second time. Like I mentioned, I was kind of trying to do this for the last couple of days. I thought it was super interesting content to bring up. It's super fresh. Like, this has been out less than a week or just about a week now. So I'm glad I got to show it. And hopefully if I get to do it again for anything in the future, it'll actually be Savage, and I'll be a lot more consistent by that point. Because Savage is very difficult. Savage is brutal. But even regular, a lot of people are still struggling. Like, this crossover event is very blatantly and very clearly the hardest content that currently exists in Monster Hunter Wilds. And I'm not saying that to be like, oh, look at how amazing I just did. It is just blatantly very different and very intended to be in depth. We are fighting mechanics that have never existed in the game before because they are from Final Fantasy, but also it's really interesting because the game is kind of forcing you to take a role, figure out what your weapon does best and how you can support other people, and that's really cool. So if anyone's struggling with this fight, know that I beat my head against it for like 12 plus hours to really learn it, and once you'll slowly get that down further and further. One of my favorite parts about video games as a hobby, and especially what I noticed during my practices of this fight over the week, is that every time I would go to sleep, I would come back the next day and you could so obviously tell how much of what I practiced the last day just ingrained itself. It is not an impossible wall to come over. It's a little BS at times, I'm not gonna lie. Savage is a little overtuned, but it is still very fun and worth the challenge. It's a great time. If you own Monster Hunter Wilds, please jump into this. If you're a big fan of Final Fantasy, I hope you're looking forward to the Monster Hunter crossover. And everyone who's been in chat, thank you so much for having me. Please enjoy the rest of the marathon. Please keep donating to help Doodleplex. You're all fantastic. I'm gonna pet my cat now, hopefully go relax a little bit, and we'll see if she takes this treat in the meantime. Oh yeah, she's very happy with this. Take the treat. There you go. Good girl, Aisling. Perfect. Thank you all for having me. Appreciate it.
Xenadir, thank you again so much. Oh my gosh, what a fantastic showcase. And my goodness, I love your cat.
I love her
what a
too.
Sweet baby. Everybody, we are going to go finish setting up for The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which you all so kindly contributed towards. Thank you all again so much for meeting this incentive. We are going to get the runner in. We are going to finish setting up, and I will see you so shortly to introduce you to that run. Thank you all so much. Please stick around for more.